Hey, greetings everyone, it's GleeCon, and I am back again, bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft, so thank you for tuning in. On our last episode, we wrapped up Teldrassil, our fourth zone of the World of Warcraft walkthrough, and we are set to pretty much begin the final Alliance starting zone, which is going to be Dunmorog. But we've got some things to do first, so stay a while and listen as we jump into Gleekantessa's life. She is sitting in Stormwind, and we've had some things happen, so we are a little bit behind on the class quests. So these will drop as we continue moving more and more. But if you look at what we have on our spreadsheet here, the class quests begin, we still have some things at 14 and 15 for druids and mages respectively. There are also some things coming up at 16, which we'll probably be doing very soon. Druids again come up at 16. I missed that when I was kind of previewing it. And then we also have rogue things that come up at 16. And then 20 is a big, massive, it looks like we might be, not mages and not hunters and not druids. So 6 out of the 9 classes have something coming up at 20. Then things will really drop. Most of them have something in the 50s, but some of the other classes have more. All right, so we're going to do that. So let's kind of begin our process. We're going to look at the lessons anew. So World of Warcraft Classic lessons anew. We're going to kind of look at these quests here. Now this is the Horde version, but we're going to duplicate, because there's also probably an Alliance version of the same quest. So we're going to type in lessons anew up here. And yes, so we're going to look at the Alliance versus the Horde versions of this quest. And this is a 5-step quest. And if you look at my spreadsheet, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this combo and how they're different is something that we can start. All right, so the first one is picked up here at Elder Rise in Thunder Bluff. If you are a Horde, it says you are now ready to learn about poison and the power we as druids have over it. Cenarius has blessed us with the ability to purge even the most foul of poisons with but a mere incantation. This gift is not to be taken lightly, and to ensure you learn this vision, you'll work to address the effects of poisonings as a layman would. Travel to Moonglade and speak with Dendrite Starblaze. He awaits your arrival to begin your lesson. Okay, now when you arrive, Dendrite says, "Greetings, young druid. I'm glad to see you ready and eager to learn about the curing of poisons. While most druids in the past were put through pre-planned trials, your work will involve no such thing. There's been a rash of animal poisonings at the crossroads in the Barrens, and they're unable to bring it under control. Someone there has requested Moonglade for aid, so we are sending you there to aid them. This is no exercise. The work you'll do is quite real. Bear this in mind." Now, if you are an Alliance person picking this up from Magthrengil Bearwalker in Darnassus, it says you're now ready to learn about poison and the power we as druids have over it. So yeah, that's exactly verbatim. Well, it looks close. Cenarians blessed us. Your incantation. Yeah, so it's exactly the same verbiage, and then his completion is so the major difference here is this final line on completion, actually what Dendrite in Moonglade says to you. While most druids in the past were put through pre-planned trials, your work will involve no such thing. There has been a rash of animal poisonings in Aberdeen, and the village there has been unable to cure it. To that end, a representative there has asked Moonglade for aid, and we are sending you there to aid them. Yeah, so pretty much the only difference is you're going to Aberdeen instead of the crossroads. Now, it does say there's a quest called Heeding the Call. Now, that is the second one, so you do have to have completed this storyline and have your aquatic form, or you can't complete this one. So as we look around, we're also going to kind of just peek through at what we need. So we have 5 jobs. So we need first aid, smelting, blacksmithing. We have cooking, fishing, and yeah, that's it. So there's 5 jobs to look at. This quest right here, and we'll look at some of the quests we have to pick up. So up here, I know we have first aid. Fishing is in this vicinity right here, but I think we'll be okay. Cooking is found, I want to say maybe in Old Town. And then in the Dwarven District, we have the smelting and blacksmithing and mining. So basically, blacksmithing, mining, cooking, fishing, first aid. So why don't we go take a peek at first aid? I think we're actually okay. Oh, look, we've got some more bandages. Might as well create them right now. If we can get to 75, that might be something. No, it's 80 that we need, but we'll go check it just in case. But in reality, we are most likely out of luck. No big changes will happen. But that's okay, because first aid trainers are kind of common in the beginning. Yeah, so I picked up a couple levels to 74. That doesn't really do that much for us. We can, but while we're up there, we can also do our class training for our paladin stuff. So we'll peek at these things as we go. We're just breaking up the quests to give us a little break in between each thing. We'll look at first aid first, and we'll look at the paladin training when we get up there. So altogether, basically 6 different trainers we'll need to look at, because we got to take advantage of being in the capital since we've been strained up there. I look fat in this guild. Humble Beginnings is a quest right there, which... That's a Westfall, so we are not going to be picking that quest up. Now, up here, Stormpike's Delivery, that's Laquandon, so we actually don't need that either. Now, Deeprun Roundup, that is a quest we'll be doing as we transition over. Okay, so in the church proper, this is where you can get priest, first aid, and paladin. First aid, I believe, is right here. That's reagents. There's first aid.
Need help? Oh, a fellow physician. I would be glad to teach you anything that would
like
aid
I said,
your
till
journeys.
80, but we can.
May the light guide your path and aid
sell
your journeys.
some of this
if you
junk.
need any assistance browsing, I will be right over here.
Good. Oh, you know what we can also get while we're in here is, we can pick up. I'm gonna keep those bronze. We can pick up weapon training.
Go with honor, friend.
If you know, so that's something worth considering. All right, so let's go ahead and go back and look at the second quest. It's called the Principal Source. If you are either, and actually it says, but if you look, the only difference is the ending path is different. So this is kind of your bouncing around. So you need to use the empty Dreadmist Peak sampler to draw a sample of water if you are Horde, whereas you need the Cliff Spring Falls sampler as Alliance. Dreadmist Peak to the northwest of the crossroads is most likely a primary candidate as to the source of the spread of the poison. Its airy peaks have pools of water that influence the weather patterns. I suspect the water is now tainted by the demon-worshipping Burning Blade. Use this sampler to draw water from the pool at the very top of the peak. Once filled, deliver it to Tonga Rune Totem at the crossroads. He is the one that requested our aid, and you will work with him to address this malady. Whereas the Alliance says, the Cliff Spring Falls in Darkshore serves as the principal source of drinking water for the region, and now I suspect it is the principal source of the poison that is harming the local fauna, deer specifically. Use this sampler to draw some water from the mouth of the cave. Be careful, as dangerous Naga now reside in the cave by the falls. Once filled, deliver it to Alandarian Nightsong in Aberdeen. She is the one that requested our aid, and you will work with her to address this malady. Progress says, you are the one that the Cenarian Circle and Moonblade sent. Yes, this is most fortuitous for us. We are stymied in our effort to bring balance to the sickly gazelles that wander the northern barrens. We're happy for all the help we can get. Do you have the sample of water that Dendrite Starblaze said you'd have? He notified me that you'd draw one so we could work on a cure together. And This one says, "You're the one that the Cenarian Circle and Moonglade sent. That's wonderful. We've quite the crisis on our hands here regarding the poor deer, and we're happy for all the help we can get. Do you have the sample of water that Dendrite Starblaze said you'd have? You noticed by yeah." So that second sentence is the same. And then, "By my ancestors, this water is disgusting. No wonder the gazelles are sick. Something is polluting the water and in turn beginning to wreck the Northern Barrens ecosystem. Sick gazelles have been sighted all north of the east-west road here. While this water is most likely a primary source of the sickness spreading, there's something else at work here. This water, believe it or not, will help us formulate a cure. While I research this water, I have need of some items to formulate a cure." Okay, and meanwhile in Aberdeen, "By a loon, this water is disgusting. No wonder the deer are sick. Something is polluting the water and in turn corrupting Darkshore's entire water table. Sick deer have been seen all over the area, not just by the river. While this water is most likely a primary source of the sickness spreading, there's something else at work here. This water, believe it or not, will help us formulate a cure. While I research this water, I have need of some items to formulate the cure." So then that brings us to step 3 for each. It's called Gathering the Cure. So you need 5 Earthroot and 5 Kodo Horns if you are a Tauren, whereas you will need 5 Earthroot and 42 Lunar Fungus if you are Alliance. I don't even remember getting this Lunar Fungus to be real. I mean, I kinda do, maybe. Alright, now we are only a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Paladin stuff. So let's see what we have here. Alright, Priest Trainer. Paladin Trainer's another side room, I believe. Maybe this other one. Dithorian Rawl. Look, that person won't even teach me. I'll talk to Lord Grayson Shadowbreaker. There's Arthur the Faithful. Oh, now she will. Catherine the Pure. You teach me, Catherine.
Light, may the light protect you this day.
Thanks. Okay, so I can get my second blessing, which is Blessing of Wisdom. Love that one. So I can add that to the blessings down here. So now that allows me to have someone restore their mana. Basically 2 extra mana per second. It's a good one for casters when you're...
May the light protect you this day.
It's not really helping me unless I was going into full healing mode. I can finally upgrade Holy Light, which is good because my current Holy Light's pathetic, but this basically doubles the power of it.
Light bless you.
So that's good. This is that's healing focus so far.
May the light protect you this day.
Okay, if we look further down the path at... That's level 40. Nothing in protection. And nothing in... So that's good. So we, even though we were stuck...
With honor, friend.
There was very little. We have tons of money left. Now we are getting close to 16 already. But all we did was basically give ourselves a slight improvement in healing. Alright. Gathering the Cure. The water will serve as the base of the curative salve I'll make for the deer. For curative properties, I need some Earthroot. Herbalists know how to find it, so if we're unlucky, and you aren't one, then you'll need to find one to help us out. Finally, for potency. Now, luckily for me, I was... On my druid, I am. On my trial run, I am an alchemist. But otherwise, you just have to buy some. Finally, for potency, I need some lunar fungus. Finding lunar fungal blooms is easy enough. They're all over the place in caves just to the east of here. Moonkin reside in the caves, and they're irritable as of late, so be careful. Have you got the reagents I need to make the salve? The deer aren't getting any better on their own, so we need to hurry to help them out. Oops. I guess I'll read all 3 since I already started. I also started on Alliance. This is good, so much so that it should be enough to make some ample doses of the salve, at least enough to start to make a difference. Making a cure for poisons can be quite difficult at times because each one requires a very specific antidote to counteract it. Imagine being able to cure poison at will without having to worry about the exact ingredients of what the antidote must be. Now let me get to work on this, and then you'll go to Curing the Sick, which wants you to basically take the salve they make and cure the sickly deer that are all around. Whereas the Horde says the water will serve as the base of the curative salve I'll make for the gazelles. For curative purposes, same line. Finally, for potency, I need Kodo horns. Mere chips and fragments will not suffice. Kodos you can handle. Wander the northern part of the Barrens. Bring some down for the greater good of the balance, and fetch the horns for me. Have you got the reagents I need to make the salve? The gazelle aren't getting any better on their own, so we better not tarry in our effort to save them. This is good, so much so that it should be enough to make some ample doses of the salve, at least enough to start to make a difference. Making a cure for poisons. Yes, same line. Now let me get working on this. All right, then curing the sick for them. Same thing. You'll take the salve and go run around and walk and cure the sickly gazelle with it by touching them. And look, you'll get a Veil Dust medicine bag, which is an offhand item that allows you to, once every half a minute, basically give yourself a light mana potion and an intellect and spirit. You get the same either way. So, as you're completing the chain, you are also getting a green offhand item, which is nice. Alright, so now we're going to work our way over a little bit. We'll go look for the fishing trainer next, just to see. Although, I know we've checked ourselves out. We should be at fishing 75, and we are. So, no worries there before we move to Old Town, which will then let us pick up our cooking training somewhere in there. I did make the mistake of paying this one guy. I'm not going to do it. Now we got to look. There's the fishing training a little bit picked on there. But of course, you could be working on any of your jobs. Alright, so the fishing, there's the fishing supplier.
How are? Welcome to Stormwind.
Nothing.
A long time to rebuild her, but it was well worth it.
And then this is the
So are you
fishing
visiting, or are you here on business?
supplier.
Best deals in all of Stormwind, my friend. Won't find
Got
any
everything
better.
we need
Now,
there.
what can I help you with?
And the trainer doesn't have anything
Welcome
for
to
us
Stormwind.
because once you
Took a long
get
time to
journeyman,
rebuild
you're
her, but
done.
it was well worth it.
Now
So
looking
are
at the
you
actual
visiting, or are
fish
you
that
here
we
on
have.
business?
Okay. We're at 66, so remember we're doing okay. Cook these small fish. If I don't need any herbs, I'll be alright. Good. We have the one spider kebab. Okay, that actually gave me a point. I have 8 long jaw mud snapper. And then that's it. So just getting that cooking done. No need to fish right now. That's good. We're up to 70. So we're about the same on all of our jobs. Right in that 75 ballpark, which is where you should be as a level 15 character. So that's good. Bully for us. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at this other... but nothing you can do on fishing. We're kind of tapped out on that. Alright. The amount of salve made out of the reagents you brought me is good enough for 10 doses. This is the Alliance side. While I work with the village to try and make some more salve, I'd like for you to help us get a head start. All around Darkshore are sickly deer. Use the salve on them to cure their malaise. Dendrite, Starblaze, and Moonglade will talk to you when you're done, I'm sure. Please extend Auberdine's thanks to the Cenarian Circle there, and let me say thanks to you directly for the help you've given, whereas the Horde says I was able to make enough while I work with the authorities to try to make more, get a head start. All around the northern barrens are sickly gazelles. Yeah, it's basically... Let me say thanks for all this help you've given. Yeah, very, very similar. You've done well in tending to the sickly gazelles of the barrens. They are unwilling victims of a greater taint and corruption that's spreading all throughout the land. You, Tauren, are most eager to understand the ways of Cenarius. You, like your elders in Thunder Bluff, are proving that the need for balance transcends artificial racial barriers. You've proven your worth as a friend of nature in the circle. Take this as a symbol of such. Whereas this one says, you've done well in tending to the sickly deer of Darkshore. They are unwitting victims of a greater taint and corruption that's spreading all throughout the land. There are those in Darnassus who choose to recognize this threat, and there are those who ignore the growing signs. I hope you will not be one to put blinders on about which facts stare you in the face. So that's kind of like a little jab at Staghelm. Regardless, you've proven your worth as a friend of nature in the circle, and take this as a symbol of such. And then it wraps up with power over poison, is what each will have to end up doing. But before we do that, let's go take a peek at the cooking needed. So we've looked at fishing, we've looked at first aid, we've also done our overall class. So we have cooking, and then more importantly, blacksmithing and mining. I actually think I might wait on blacksmithing and mining until we... I don't know. How are we doing? Yeah, we're kind of stuck here because we got no ore, but we don't have quite enough to complete the quest that we will pick up, which is kind of annoying. How's our belt situation? We still have not replaced the copper chain belt. We need 30 even without that. Trying to take a peek and see. But sure, we could. If we get over there. We need this copper chain belt, which we have enough for 4. Which brings us to 54. That's not even enough. Now, we could get this grinding stone going on there. So that's a little something. I can take a peek there. Now, there is somewhere around here, there'll be a restaurant where we could learn our cooking. There it is right there, the Pig and Whistle. Pig and Whistle is a place you could set your hearth to if you felt like it, but more importantly, this is a great shop for cooking. Okay, so there is a barmaid right here that leads us upstairs.
Hey there.
Just sells all kinds of different drinks. And then up here, this guy is the master of cooking. So I'm not going to purchase anything from him right now. But all of these recipes, he sells basically every Alliance quest. Well, not maybe not every, but a lot. It might be every. He just explicitly sells cooking recipes you get from completing Alliance quests. But I would rather wait till our end of our days and then come back and do it, because I accidentally bought those with my Alliance character and it was a waste of money. Down here you have a tavern keeper.
Welcome to the Pig and Whistle.
That's it.
Grab a drink, my friend, and pull up a seat. The more the merrier.
But that guy's unique. I don't think there's someone that matches that in the Horde.
Greetings. Do I look like I have the time or energy to coddle every tourist that wanders through my door? Tell me what you need and make it quick.
Okay, so we learned how to make crab cakes in case we find crawler meat.
How are you? I
And
sell
then-
only the best gear, tested and true. And the prices are set.
Yeah.
So if you want to haggle, then
She
go
sells
find a
the
goblin.
generic sagefish and greater sagefish. And I guess if you want some rats, that's always what you want out of your cooking establishment, is piles of raw meat on the table and rats all up in the cellar. But in case you're ever interested in finding that, so we did learn something there. We learned how to cook crab cake, and then let's wrap up this quest line, Power Over Poison. You've learned what it means to cure poison without the benefit of spiritual aid. Okay, I'm just going to jump back and forth and see if anything's different. Remember what others must endure in fighting poisonous afflictions, as you soon embrace your newfound power over poison. Okay, verbatim the same. You should now return to Turak Rune Totem in Thunderbluff. The only difference there would be you should turn to Mathrengal Bearwalker in Darnassus. He no doubt has a very important spell to teach you, now that the student understands the lesson given unto him or her. Same lesson. Farewell, young druid. We shall speak again. That's the same. And on completion, you will learn Cure Poison. Welcome back. I've been following your progress on this lesson since you left, and I must admit I was surprised to learn about the situation at the crossroads. And this says situation in Aberdeen. This does bear some further investigation, as the introduction of such poisons into the environment is most upsetting to the balance. Verbatim the same. You handled yourself with grace under pressure. For that, I can find no better way to reward you than with permanent power over poison. Use it well. Use it well. Okay, so that is the class stuff up to 16, and up to 14. And we will go and look at maybe mining. So we can smelt copper, but maybe there's a little bit more we can smelt if we can find the mining trainer here. Actually, let's skip that for now, and we're going to go ahead and go into... Because it's so much easier and convenient to do the mining and stuff from the dwarves. So there are some quests still. Those are Dead Mines quests. We're not there yet. That's... I think that's also maybe a Dead Mines quest. That's the castle. We don't need anything there. And then, yeah, the Stormpike's Delivery. There's actually a breadcrumb to get that quest, I think. I think it's in Loch Modan, so we will completely ignore this Stormpike thing until later. Around Loch Modan-ish time. And then Deeprun Roundup, even though it looks like it's right there, that's actually found inside the tram, which is where we're going to go right now. We also will have to look at our mage quests. It's fine. At some point, it's nice too, as you get higher level. At some point, the class quests will combine, and we don't have to worry about different races. They kind of start dovetailing them. All right, so inside the Alliance side of the Deeprun tram, this is the tram you take if you want to connect to Ironforge. There's a tram vessel. There's this guy, Nipsy. And I don't remember if Nipsy is the person that you get the quest from, or if you pick this up at Ironforge.
Honored. You'll find no finer rat kebab.
You can sell Deeprun rat kebabs. Sell him. I can't do bristle whisker cabbage. Oh, so that's a recipe. We need that. I don't need that.
All right, man.
I could have sworn I just saw the tram. Did I miss it? I don't know. So that means his brother on the other side, once you arrive at Ironforge, will probably give us the quest, and that's one that we can absolutely complete. I had that thought, like, did we... I guess we must have completed the Ironforge quest. I mean, the Stormwind. So we have some things to pick up here. That's the blacksmithing one we need. So you find Bingles and speak with Shoni. Those are quests we'll pick up later. But Deeprun Roundup we can do right now. If you look at Find Bingles, let's look at our spreadsheet here. In Dun Morag. So Find Bingles and Speak with Shoni are the actual last two that we'll pick up. So I think Shoni the Silent in Stormwind, so we'll just go drop her off, and Bingles in Loch Modan. So we'll pick these two quests up. We can actually turn one in on this episode, since we're just doing travel and talking and all that stuff anyway. We were halfway done with our reading of class quests. What will be, yeah, so we still have mage stuff to do. We need to do this series that starts with Report to Anastasia and Report to Janaea. Report to Anastasia. Why is it not? There we go. Get off. I'm sure this. Did I just get? I just did. I stayed on too long. Whatever. We need to do this anyway. This will be a report to Janaea. Why, you little jerk? Come on. All right. So we'll just. I can't believe I let myself go backwards and stick this. Okay. So this is the beginning of the mage quest line. 1, 2, 3 quest. Now, if you look at the spreadsheet we have, it is 2, 3. So what's it say on the actual thing? It is up to gathering materials. Now that means the last one, which is called Mana Weave robes or Spellfire robes, they must pop out, even though it's not showing them as part of the chain. They in actuality are. Pretty sure I messed up. That's Nipsy. See, I guess that's why it doesn't really stay very long. So we just gotta be careful. Alright, so yeah. The first one is the Alliance one. This one, and I mean Horde, I'm sorry, and then I have the second one is Alliance. So it's reporting to a generic trainer to basically take all of the races and streamline them. That's what the first one is. and dinosaurs and ships. It's like a ride at Disney. This will figure this out. We'll read our first step here just right when we get off the train. This is a tram. This is a very easy quest. And we'll go pick up those other two just to get them out of the way. The report to Bingles, because unlike what you normally might want to get done, we're doing it a little bit differently. So the first quest that we need to do here is Monty, the rat extermination specialist, is going to give us Deeprun rat roundup.
Hey, Monty be
We're
me
flowing
name,
with
rats
rats.
be me
And
game.
papyrus out, matey. Monty be me name and rats be me game.
Avast you scallywag. Are ye looking for work? We got a serious rat problem down here and not enough hands on the poop deck. What do you say? All you needs to do is take this here rat-catching flute and play the melody around the vermin. They'll follow ye to the ends of the world. Just capture 5 of the little buggers and bring them back here. We need them alive.
Okay, so first let's look at this. So the mages of the Undercity have noted a magical disturbance within the city and have sent word for mages of the Horde to investigate. This is picked up here in Orgrimmar, whereas this says completely different. So we'll look at that. Anastasia Hartwell can tell you more. Speak with her in the Magic Quarter in the Undercity. Whereas this says, this is picked up in Ironforge, your knowledge of the craft grows, young person. Are you now ready to begin your true lessons? Are you ready to take your place in the secret war we wage? If so, then speak with Janaea Cannon in the Wizard's Sanctum in the Mage District of Stormwind. She has a task for you which will open your first window into the invisible world. So, note here, this is for dwarves and gnomes. Humans can skip this because this is a breadcrumb. And night elves can't be mages. So look over here, same deal. This is for basically trolls because orcs can't be mages. And then undead can skip this, and Tauren can't be mages. It is true a magical disturbance has been detected in our city. We're not yet sure of its origin or whether it's malign or benign. We must first gather more information, and that brings us to your task, which would give us investigate the alchemist shop, whereas the Alliance says, I have a mission for you here in the Mage District. Listen closely, for there is no time to waste, and that gives you investigate the Blue Recluse. So this is a fun quest where they want you to take a containment coffer, filled ones, and a cantation of manifestation. Same 3 spells, and it's a Ghostbuster style quest. Basically go into this room and you, or wherever they send you. So here what we need is these Deeprun rats. But I'll talk about that quest in a second. So you go close to a rat, you blow the whistle. And you need to do this 5 times. There's a haggle, leper, no. Okay. Someone else completing this quest? There is. Someone's running around doing the same quest right now. So you gotta find 5. I'll go back to the other side because someone's taking all the rats over there. We have 2. We need 5. No worries. It's funny that we just happen to have this at the same time as someone else. Okay, as you can see, it takes a little bit of time to blow the spell. So if they're like running away from you, there's 4, and then here's a 5th one. So as you can see, pretty dang easy. It's like a Pied Piper kind of thing. And now we have 5. It says we only have 3, but we have 5. Yes, now it just said quest complete. Now you go back to old Monty here. He currently doesn't want to interact with me. There we go.
Need assistance? Be seeing you.
Arr, Swabby, what be taking you so long?
These'll work nicely, matey. My brother needs them still ticking and kicking, else they go sour. You don't want to taste no sour rat kebab.
Disgusting. Okay, so then he punches into the box, me pretties. That's it. One by one we go. Alright, so we'll pick up the follow-up to that in just a second. What he wants us to do is... first of all, yeah, we'll go pick this quest up. So, we are now starting the next part of our quest walkthrough. So we're going to go ahead and do ba ba ba. Bam, bada bam. Okay, remember, yeah, we'll go ahead and open up the line of quests. But this is not. We're starting doing Morog. Now the final alliance quest area. And we just picked up the first one, which was Deeprun Rat. That's actually way down there because it's a level 12 quest, pick up and turn in. So we did that one. Let's go back over and look at the next quest chain for ourselves. So investigating the alchemist shop. Algernon's alchemist shop in the Apothecarium is the locus of a strange disturbance. Invisible creatures made solely of magic wander the shop. There must be a reason, and we must find it. Investigate the disturbance and capture those creatures. Take a chest of coffers and a scroll from behind me. Use the scroll at the shop to make your creatures visible. Subdue them with your spells, and then throw down a coffer to capture them. Return with the filled coffers, the empty coffers, and the cantation. Whereas he says a disturbance has been reported at the Blue Recluse Tavern in the Mage Quarter. Strange invisible creatures now wander the tavern. They show a picture of them right there. It's like a Voidwalker mana elemental kind of thing. And I fear a mana rift has formed there. I want you to investigate the tavern and capture those creatures. Use the cantation of manifestation in the tavern to make the creatures visible. Subdue them, then use a containment coffer to capture them. When you have enough, return to me with your filled coffers, your empty coffers, and the cantation. Okay? Have you investigated the disturbance? Have you captured the creatures? This one says, have you captured the creatures? They must be studied in order to determine the reason behind their arrival. And very good. The creatures within these containment coffers will be studied by our finest minds, and the reason behind their presence in the Undercity will be determined. If their appearance is caused by a rift in the natural flow of magic, then we must determine if the rift was random. If it was not random, but instead an attack by some magical force, then we must prepare for future more serious disturbances. And it's similar to some of the books we've read where they're talking about the invasion of demons and stuff. Very well done. I will study these creatures and with diligence and luck determine how they slipped into our world. Your value to the Society of Mages grows. Now, gathering materials is where they send you next. And this is a quest, as what they're preparing. This is really all about getting your mage robes. So they're going to send you to get some different items to get these mage robes. You need 10 linen cloth either way, and then you need rift gems, charged rift gems, or Dalaran mana gems. But first, let's pick this quest. Me brother Nipsy. Monty be my name and rats be my game.
Me brother Nipsy runs a rat kebab operation on the other side of Deeprun. You needs to take this here crate of rats to him before they go bad. Get a move on. You have ridden a tram before, aye? It's easy. Just step aboard when she arrives and enjoy the ride. And keep your arms and legs inside during the ride, lest you be peg-legged for life.
And before we actually do that quest, and I'm not even going to mark off on the spreadsheet that we picked it up, before we pick that one up, which he just, basically this is a series, a couple little quests that want you to connect. They want to force you to use the tram. It's all this is about, sort of in its own way, a breadcrumb. But before we do that, let's pick up these two quests right here. Find Bingles and speak with Shoni.
Can I help you?
Where trogs and leper gnomes stand up our... where trogs and leper gnomes roam stands our home, Nomergon. Our families lost, our families displaced, scattered. Oh, how I long for the days of carefree Nomergon life, but those days are no more. We must make our stand. We must save Nomergon.
We've lost contact with Bingles. He was sent on a reconnaissance mission over Nomereg and hasn't reported back in over a week. I just know he's gone and blown himself up. He was last seen flying over the loch. Perhaps you can investigate, adventurer. Perhaps you can help us in the battle for Nomeregen. In Stormwind, you will find the commander of our underground assault crew, Shoni the Silent. Shoni needs assistance with her gyrodrillmatic excavationators. You will probably find her amongst the dwarves in Stormwind. Good luck, adventurer.
Alright, so we do have to go pick those up, so I'll add those to the spreadsheet. We have to go drop off. Now, we can drop off speak with Shoni while we're back in Stormwind. And of course, me brother Nipsy, we can drop that off as well. So let's go ahead and go across, and we'll wait for the tram. and it says haggle sifts through the trash. This is also the part where you can learn how to do like the Brawlers Club or whatever, but I don't think that exists in Classic. Okay, so I think we should have time to do these real quick. Alright, so Find Bingles, that's a quest we can just kind of pick up. So we can pick up Find Bingles because that's not going anywhere. So we can put that in, do some pickup. While we're here, check this off. Then we can also do Speak with Shoni. Now, unfortunately, there's no way we can get around picking up and dropping that off, but we can check that off. And then finally, meet Brother Nipsy. We can check this one off too, because that we're going to pick up and drop off, and then we're going to put this one in too. Okay, so that's cool. Altogether, we will have gotten a couple quests out, and we are also over here. We're on our gathering materials quests. Just gotta make sure we don't miss this. This says, it is time for you to don your first mage's robes. They are a sign of your station and a testament to your worth. To gain the robes, you must gather the mana gems from the Dalaran mages of Silverpine. This is the Horde version. Their beliefs are similar to ours, and so killing them is somewhat distasteful. But if they lack the strength to resist us, then they do not deserve their lives. Okay. Meanwhile, here we are. We'll get ready to turn in to meet Brother Nipsy. Go ahead and turn this in. Why not? Because we've got to get back on the tram and go back over. What we really want is...
Hi, how are you? Very good.
Nipsy put his index finger through one of the holes in the carton. Alive and kicking and just in time.
Poor Monty. Ever since the Nomarigan incident, he hasn't been the same. That boy has never seen an ocean in his life, let alone being some kind of pirate. At least he keeps the flow of twitching critters coming.
Okay, so we got some XP for that, and we got some rat kebabs that we can sell. Oops. Okay, so bring the gems and a supply of linen to Joseph Gregorian in the Magic Quarters tailor shop. Okay. That's the first step for the gathering supplies. Okay, meanwhile, on the Alliance side, you have served your fellow mages well, and now it is time to don your wizard's robes. Wynne Larson can make your robe, but you must bring her the needed materials. The robe will be made of linen, which is easy to find, but you must also gain charged rift gems, and the only known location of the gems is in the Silver Stream mine of Loch Madan, left in crates by the Dwarven Miners League. Gather the linen and the gems and bring them to Wynne Larson at the Larson Clothiers in the Mage District. I think you fight kobolds for them. Hello, Janaea told me you would come. Do you have something for me? Anastasia said you would come to me, and I am prepared to fashion your robes. Do you have the gems and the linen? This is very good material, and although I lack the talent to gauge the quality of these mana gems, we'll soon know if they possess the power needed to craft Spellfire robes. You want to play old school card games. Magic. Spellfire. Yes, these are great pieces of linen. And after I weave the rift gems into it, we'll have a garment fit for a mage. Okay. And that unlocks the Mana Weave robe if you are Alliance, or the Spellfire robes if you are Horde. And we are all done with this transition. Uh-oh, did I forget? I did. Forgot to go get... We have to go back. I forgot to go to Shoni. Dang it. I forgot to leave, because we're in Ironforge right now. I forgot to leave out of that and go to Shoni. Dag snatch it. That's a stinking bummer. You can walk if you go down here. If you ever really wanted to, you can walk the whole way down. That's how you find Fight Club. But past classic. I can't believe I forgot that. Alright, so the Spellfire robe just says, here are your robes, wear them well. And you gain lesser Spellfire robes, 34 armor, 6 intellect. So annoying. honestly, probably hearth if we wanted to. And then the Mana Weave robe says, "Here's your robe. It's one of my best made yet. Wear it with pride. When people ask, tell them you got it at Larson Clothiers." And it is a 34 armor, 6 intellect. That 6 intellect is a very nice boost for level 15. So that's it for our class quest catch-up. Although I am sort of kind of annoyed here that I just wasted some of our time. But... Alright, so we are also going to be going in to pick up supplying the front. The rest of these quests don't matter. They're dungeon quests, so I'm not worried about picking them up quite yet. So we can pick that one up, since this is a profession quest, so we're going to pick this up. Plop that there. We're going to at least pick that up right now. We're not. We're still a minimum of 6 copper, but really kind of 12 away from being able to pick that quest up. But first, let's go turn in Shoni the Silent. I think you can see Stormwind out there. And remember, she has some other quests too. We're not picking this up because we're not quite going to Loch Modan. Speak with Shoni is the completion. But we're not picking up Stormpike's delivery. And her Underground Assault quest, that's a Dead Mines quest that we're not picking up.
Do you bring word from Central Command?
Yeah.
Nomarik has fallen under...
Okay, so that's again an optional breadcrumb. If you pick that quest up, you can skip it, but right, we gained 270 XP and an extra 27 gnome rep. So why not just to turn that in? Okay, so this is sort of the transition quests. There was a small little packet of quests that as we transitioned over, we still haven't quite played with our blacksmithing and mining. We're going to do that in Ironforge and pick up that one quest, and then we're really kind of sort of in good shape. Night Elf Druid. So that's it for us. This time we can kind of look at the journey, explore it. Tell you what, I am happy that it is the weekend. Yeah, I have to maybe wash my dog. He is quite stinky. Usually, we used to take him to the groomers, but the groomers, he's a husky and he was young. So, you know, when he was a 1.5-year-old husky, by that point, he was naughty. He's not professionally trained, so he will listen to me. And he's getting better and more chill as he gets older. But even with me, cleaning him is a bit of a pain. But yes, so it's a dirty process. Basically, the washing is not so bad. I really don't actually mind bathing him. He's got so much fur. But, I hate clipping his nails. I just don't like it. It's kind of annoying and dirty-ish. What is this? Speaking of... I don't know. This is something from my... So my daughter's boyfriend, long-term boyfriend, I've probably talked about him on the show before. He works for some Division I college schools and other lower level college. He works in the he was like a TV production kid in high school, and then I like that name, Yeedles. As he got older and got to college, he kept going with it, but he really got hired on. When you're that age, your main job is like filming sports. So he does some sports filming, but really his job is in the graphic department. Okay, so here's a blacksmith trainer. Blacksmith supplies. All these blacksmith people.
Watch your back.
Armor crafter, weapons crafter. I think as you get higher level, you can do it. Here's
The Mountaineers of Loch Modan are fighting trogs and having a busy time of it. They need constant supplies of new armor and weapons if we're ever to get a handle on those trogs. That's why my colleague Thorvald is there, trying to keep the Mountaineers in good gear. So if you were to make some copper axes and copper chain belts and bring them to Thorvald, he would be obliged. He might even share his knowledge with you. Thorvald is in Loch Modan's southern guard tower.
Great. We just need some more ore. Where the heck is the mining person? Where are we supposed to bring him? Make some and bring them to Thorvald. That's annoying. So when we're finally done making them, we got to pick them up. I really thought the miner trainer was right there. That's annoying.
What do you need directions to?
The mining
Which
trainer?
profession trainer would you be looking for? Do we have mining trainers here? Where do you think you are? Why, you'll find one of the best miners
Yeah,
in
so
all
that's
Dungarrow,
blacksmithing.
at the deep mountain
And then
range
we'll drop
on
some of this
northern
off
side
on the
of
way.
Ironforge.
But
There,
yeah.
Gia from Bouldertoe will show you the
Oh, we have the
true
money too. We can do our blacksmithing training right now also. Alright, so this is the mining guild. So they have a straight up guild. It is just still more convenient than trying to find the dumb one that hides out in Ironforge.
Here there.
Okay, so we can learn smelt bronze, smelt tin, and smelt silver. Love that. So I don't think we have any of those things. No, but we do have some tin that we can smelt. Love that.
Well, if
I
you
don't know
ask me, there's
what
no
else.
greater profession than a miner. And if you ask me, there's no greater miner than a dwarf.
So we can actually get some of the bronze, but we don't want. I don't want to smelt bronze because we need. I mean, yeah, we need all the copper we can get. And if you look at the next quest after resupplying the front, I'd have to look it up, but I think that one might require copper too. So we won't be doing any bronze anytime soon. This is, I think, a smelting area. Yeah, we're not smelting anything. Yeah, we're not smelting the bronze. It's not happening. Because we need all our copper. Okay, so what we want is to go ahead and make some stuff. I think it'll be best to make the rough grinding stones. Just keep these in our bag as needed. This will level us up some. And we're to the point now where, and now we have the money that we can learn journeyman blacksmithing. We got a bunch of these grinding stones. And this is cool because this is getting us, like, this is free level up. Like, basically. That's still yellow. And I guess eventually we can, I mean, you really need to devote a lot of time to the grinding stones. But yeah, it's all good. That one didn't give us one. Okay, so that's cool. Now this guy...
You know more than I do, that's a certainty. Tell you what, though,
65 is the next skill.
He'll want you to prove yourself,
Artisan,
but
here's
he is
expert.
a fine teacher indeed.
So he taught me journeyman.
And you'll find him near
So
the
now we have that.
working steel for old bangers. I would love to teach you a thing or two about
Now, and we
smithing.
need these
Grab an
belts.
apron and a hammer, and let's see what we can accomplish, shall we?
Yeah. So this will get us over to 60, but it won't get us to 65, which is our next tier that we need. And yeah, so that's about it. We on the way out of town, which is where we're going to go right now. We'll just go. We're going to have to go to Stormwind and learn how to use swords and stuff. It's annoying, but we'll do that some other day. We can do the Ironforge one while we're here. Let's go to the War District and learn the weapon, and then we'll leave town. Because we're about 5 minutes away from where we would want to be.
You're looking to learn how to
We've
use
already
a
done all the
weapon,
elves,
are you?
so
You should be talking to Beachy or Bullywhip over at the Timberline Arms Weapons.
And we're gonna have, we're not gonna level up.
From axes to...
We'll make a lot more money before we hit level 16. We will probably do almost this entire zone, which will get us, just like last time, that it'll get us up in the... So we should be okay in terms of money. Should be okay. Now, I know one-handed swords, I think, is something that we need to learn, right? What's our character's skills? We have two-handed axes, maces, and swords, and we have maces. So one-handed stuff. So this guy, one-handed axes.
Don't stand there slack-jawed, speak up, lassie.
Not that I really need that.
Well, hi there. Are you here
And
to learn
the
proper
gnomes
technique
can't
of your
teach us
weapon?
anything. So one-handed swords is something we do have to learn in Stormwind. It's dumb, you should start with that, but whatever. So yeah, I can't believe you don't start with one-handed swords. But we got one-handed axes as needed, but we're not going to, as a ret paladin, we're not going to be using that, so I'm not really... That'll just be 10 silver we toss to the weapon master if we ever happen to be in that general vicinity. And that's it. We did ourselves some good work in terms of all of our jobs. We read about the different class missions. When we do hit 16, because our Horde character is already 16, we will be in good shape. When's the bank? Here. We're going to just stick some of our...
You got my attention.
Yeah, so those are the 6 axes, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna keep my supplies. Yeah, like technically we could sell that. I don't really need the rat kebabs. Our bag space is just such garbage here. Eventually, I mean, we could sell these fronds if we had to, but they're kind of nice because you can use them on yourself too. It's basically like a very weak potion, as they heal 76 to 91. So they're a little pinch stronger than a regular healing potion, but they're on a separate cooldown, and you can use them to heal others. That's pretty nice. Alright, so we're about to be ready to roll. What we're going to do now is make our way down into the Cold Ridge Valley to get started on our quest. That's Dwarven Outfitters, Full Cave, so we'll just take our journey down here. So we've done all the quests kind of in transition. So this is, it's tough about what I want to call this, because we did actually, do quests that connect Ironforge in Stormwind. We picked up a quest. Yeah, I mean, that's really all we really did, and we traveled. So I will call this something other than traveling, because the traveling ones, I feel like, if we've got nothing else on our plate, I'm not adding anything to the spreadsheet, we've got nothing going on, I'll call it a travel episode. But we did actually finish a few quests, and we also read, because it's the same thing, if I spend my whole time reading class quests, I can, we can address that. The good thing also, we should be able to get some, stuff here. So we need that supplying the front quest to be done. The belt I have on is one that I built myself. We're not going to stop in Karanos right now, but yeah, if we see ore, because we do need minimum of 6 if we took our own belt off, but really 12 ore. And then I guess we can take a peek at this next profession quest. Gearing Redridge, because if we need copper, if we need bronze, we can start working toward bronze, I guess, but okay, so Gearing Redridge, this requires runed copper maul belts and heavy copper mauls. So I can't make the mace, and I can't make the ruined copper belt yet. I'm starting to be able to make ruined copper. Seems like it's the same thing, but you need rough grinding stones, but you need pure copper. So we're just going to be sitting on tin for some time. We really just need to get copper out of our brain so much. Don't know how much it's going to take. I would guess it's like, now what do you need? 4 of each, so at least there's that. But it seems like my guess is somewhere like 48, maybe as much as like 80 to 90 copper. Now that's Horde. We won't get the next one until you get to level 40 and a blacksmithing of 200. So the Horde has a whole quest chain, much more annoying than Alliance. So it's much more daunting of a task if you decide to go the blacksmithing route and your Horde. All right, so we're only coming in a couple minutes over. That's not too shabby. The travel also was like almost nothing. We went from Stormwind to Ironforge, so not actually spending a lot of traveling. We just had some things to do. We had some housekeeping we had to do, some class quest reading, and just a few little transition quests. So overall, yeah, we completed 3 quests. Not that big a deal. Speak with Shoni, that won't be happening for a little while. Yeah. The Coldridge Pass is I think this is the tunnel where they're like, oh, you gotta make your way through the trogs or whatever. Yeah, there you go. There's a level 3 Rockjaw Raider. So it's not exactly the level 4. These guys. What? Are you out of your mind? Got 1 copper for that. That's the process of reclaiming everything we need. But I think if you're like level 5 to 6, which is typically when you'd be when you were leaving here, you'd have to fight your way out. So they want you to have some challenge, but they also want this to be kind of easy. I can't believe that guy aggroed onto me. So this is the final starting zone. We'll start it tomorrow for the Alliance. I want to say it kind of starts-ish in this camp right around there. It's like a small camp outside. That little thing is called something. I don't remember. Maybe Brunel Village or something. But you basically start and you spawn in this little camp outside of town. So this is where Baby New, as you can see, this guy was just born. He's wet out of his mama's womb. This is where they're born. So we made our way down here. We're going to log. Again, no resting XP in the valley or in starting zones. But we've done it. We have another episode in the pipe. 5x5. And see everybody next time on Lore of Warcraft.